celebrity walks out to greet fans, but instead of applause, chaos. Instead of admiration, anger. Instead of support cameras capturing every second of a moment that would go viral within hours. Security scrambling, crowds shouting, a rapid escape in a black SUV. And now, the fallout is spreading far beyond one person. It's hitting an entire network, a billion-dollar corporation, and one of the most powerful shows on daytime television. If you want the full breakdown of what's really happening behind the scenes, subscribe now, because this is the story mainstream coverage is only scratching the surface of. All right, so this situation has layers, and the deeper you go, the more complicated it gets. What started as an online controversy surrounding Whoopi Goldberg has now evolved into something much bigger, a credibility crisis for daytime television itself. Because when a figure who has been in the industry for decades suddenly finds themselves at the center of nonstop backlash, it forces audiences to reassess everything they thought they knew. And corporations notice that shift immediately. That's why ABC and its parent company, the Walt Disney Company, moved quickly to contain the situation, at least publicly, with a short suspension designed to signal accountability. But viewers today are far more skeptical than they were even 5 years ago. They don't just accept official statements anymore. They compare timelines, they revisit old clips, they analyze contradictions. And when those contradictions start piling up, the narrative changes from controversy to distrust. That distrust is now affecting The View in a way producers likely didn't anticipate. Because the show's success has always depended on a strong emotional connection with its audience. People don't just watch it for news, they watch it because they feel familiar with the hosts, almost like extended family members they see every day. But familiarity can flip into disappointment when audiences feel misled. And that emotional shift is exactly what analysts believe is happening right now. Ratings pressure, negative social media trends, former fans publicly announcing they're done watching, all of it adds up. But nothing illustrates the tension more than what happened outside the studio. After a recent taping, crowds gathered behind barricades as usual. Some brought photos from Goldberg's legendary career, especially her Oscar-winning role connected to Ghost hoping for a quick autograph. For many, this was supposed to be a positive moment, a chance to see someone they'd admired for years. Instead, they witnessed something entirely different. When Goldberg appeared, the energy shifted almost instantly. Cheers mixed with shouting, support mixed with criticism, excitement mixed with frustration. Security tightened formation as voices grew louder. Then came the turning point, when she declined to sign autographs and urged the crowd to calm down. Some fans interpreted it as stress, others interpreted it as dismissal. Crowds don't operate on nuance, they react to emotion. And emotion escalated fast. Boos erupted. People shouted questions. Phones recorded everything. Within seconds, what was meant to be a routine exit turned into a viral spectacle. She was quickly escorted into a waiting vehicle and driven away, leaving behind a crowd that had transformed from hopeful to hostile in minutes. But this moment wasn't isolated. Reports suggest similar tensions have been building for months, a sign that frustration didn't appear overnight. Meanwhile, fellow hosts like Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin reportedly avoided engaging with the crowd altogether, choosing to leave quietly rather than risk escalating the situation further. From a crisis management perspective, that decision makes sense. From a fan perspective, it can feel like distance. And distance is dangerous for a show built on relatability. Behind closed doors, executives now face a dilemma. Do they stand firmly behind their hosts and ride out the storm? Or do they pivot, changing tone, format, or hooking in new personalities to rebuild trust? Because controversies don't just affect ratings in the short term, they influence advertiser confidence, brand partnerships, and long-term strategy. There's also the looming leadership shift within Disney, which adds another layer of uncertainty. New leadership often wants to make bold moves early, and situations like this can accelerate decisions that might otherwise take years. Some insiders are now saying daytime television isn't just struggling, it's standing at the edge of a massive transformation. Because what we're seeing right now isn't one scandal, it's a symptom of something bigger. Audiences are no longer consuming media the way they did even a decade ago. They don't wait for scheduled programming. They don't rely on networks to tell them what matters. They don't automatically trust familiar faces on television. Instead, they're turning to independent creators, online commentators, live streams, and platforms where they feel conversations are less scripted and more real. That shift alone is rewriting the entire power structure of entertainment. Traditional talk shows like The View were built for a different era, an era when networks controlled the narrative and audiences had limited alternatives. But now, viewers have infinite options, and when people feel frustrated, ignored, or disconnected, they don't protest quietly anymore. They leave. They unsubscribe. They stop watching. They move on instantly. That's why controversies today hit harder than they used to, because there's no guarantee the audience will still be there when the storm passes. And this isn't just affecting one show. It's putting pressure on the entire daytime format. Executives at major networks, including ABC, are reportedly reevaluating what audiences actually want moving forward. Less lecturing, more authenticity, less scripted outrage, more genuine conversation. Because trust once broken doesn't reset automatically. It has to be rebuilt slowly, and sometimes it never fully returns. History shows this pattern over and over again. When viewers emotionally detach from a program, they rarely come back with the same loyalty. They may check in occasionally. They may watch clips online, but the daily habit, the routine that once sustained ratings, disappears. And right now, it feels like we're witnessing that detachment unfold in real time. Not with one dramatic moment, but with thousands of small decisions by viewers choosing something else to watch. But now I want to throw the question to you, because this isn't just about one host, one network, or one controversy anymore. It's about the future of entertainment itself. Do you think this backlash is actually justified, or has the internet turned a complicated situation into something far bigger than it really is? Is daytime television losing its influence permanently, or will it adapt and come back stronger? And more importantly, if audiences are moving on, what replaces it? Independent creators? Podcast-style shows? Unfiltered online commentary? We're entering a completely new era where viewers, not networks, decide what survives. So I want your honest take. Scroll down and tell me what you think is really happening here, because the comment section has become one of the most interesting parts of these discussions. If you made it all the way to the end, you're part of the core audience that actually wants deeper analysis, not just headlines, so hit the like button to push this video out to more people who are trying to make sense of all this. Subscribe if you want consistent breakdowns of the biggest entertainment shakeups, media controversies, and behind-the-scenes power shifts, because things are changing faster than most people realize. And turn on notifications, because the next major meltdown could happen at any moment, and when it does, we'll be here covering it. The old Hollywood system is shifting. Television is evolving, and the audience is taking control. We're not just watching the change, we're documenting it as it happens. I'll see you in the next one.